You saw a vine crawl up your marble throne, whispered, "Look, it's learning on its own." Oh darling, no, don't flatter the leaves. Every root reports directly to me. You call it change, you call it luck. You say, well, chaos just showed up. But I don't gamble, I architect. Every ripple is a signed effect. I don't bloom by accident, I don't fall, I circumvent. Every loss was camouflage for phase 2 of my sabotage. You call it growth, I call it strategy. You think I stumbled into destiny. No, I calculated gravity, bend it softly toward my trajectory. You see a spark, I see the tapestry. Every thread obeys my mastery. You call it growth, oh how cute. I call it long-term strategy. From the stage, thought I shrunk, assumed I'd age. But silence is a sharpened blade. In absence, that's where legends are made. You celebrate the tiny climb. I planted forest years ahead of time. While you were counting petals in spring, I was negotiating with everything. I don't chase the rising sun, I decide when it's begun. Every shadow, every scheme fits precisely in the dream. You call it growth, I call it strategy. Every mistake was anatomy, carefully built catastrophe, turning into inevitability. You see a shift, I see alignment, patience forged in defiance. You call it growth, I call it strategic compliance. So I don't rage, I reposition. I don't lose, I change condition. Every exile was expansion, every fall improved the mansion. You thought the roots were fragile things, they were mapping out your kings while you were measuring applause. I was rewriting natural laws. You call it growth, I call it destiny rehearsed, a quiet plan you never glimpsed first. You call it patience, I call it power dispersed. Pressure makes the trickster worse. You call it wow, he's finally thriving. I call it years of careful striving. You call it growth, that's sweet of you. I call it inevitable arriving. Next time the vines begin to climb, ask yourself who chose the time. Growth is just a story told by those who missed the blueprint unfold.